Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm here to talk about three stocks that you should buy right now after earnings season, before earnings season. These are stocks you need to get into, and they have a very promising future ahead of them, and millionaires are going to be made from these three stocks. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate it. We just hit 300 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. On the road to 400 now. Let's get right into it. So see a good day in the portfolio today. This is mostly due to AMD bouncing back. This is very good. We were at an all-time high, and I think we're going to reach that again soon. We can see the all-time high was we almost hit 26,000. So yeah, 25,608. Very good to see. But the first stock that we're going to be covering today is ticker symbol CAKE, CAKE. We have Cheesecake Factory. This stock has been on a tear, to say the least, year to date, past 3 months, and then the past year. This stock has done very well. You guys have probably heard of Cheesecake Factory. They're a pretty small company, $3 billion. Their PE ratio relatively low, and they pay a pretty healthy dividend of 1.75%. So we can see they're beating on earnings every single time. This company has, no worry about cash flow. They're a cash cow. They make a lot of money, but the company is a little misleading. Cheesecake Factory. So we can see Cheesecake Factory Inc. engages in the operation of restaurant chains. It operates through the following segments. The Cheesecake Factory restaurants, obviously, we know about the Cheesecake Factory, but they also have North Italia and other FRC. But if we go farther down, we see that they have the Cheesecake Factory, obviously. They have North Italia, and then another really big one that, they're working on a lot, Flower Child. So North Italia and Flower Child are the reason to invest into Cheesecake Factory stock. If we take a look at the investor presentation that they actually just dropped, let's look at some of these. They own 216 Cheesecake Factory locations, 46 North Italia locations, and 42 Flower Child locations, with 52 Fox Restaurant Concepts locations. So this is, they're growing very fast. This company is very cheap. Their market cap is 3.2 billion. Their revenue is 3.6. They're making more money than their market cap, which is insane. This is a great company. They obviously know what they're doing, and all these North Italias and Flower Childs that they're opening, I think they're going to pass up Cheesecake Factory because Cheesecake Factory is profitable. The business itself, the actual restaurant, Cheesecake Factory, is very profitable itself, but I think that they're going to pass it up with Flower Child and North Italia. Both of them eventually are going to have more locations than Cheesecake Factory, especially Flower Child because of its ease of opening and its ease of operation, but I think that North Italia is also going to be up there. So if we go down more and more, we can see there's a lot of things on here that, they kind of just put on there to make it look amazing, you know what I mean? But we see the highest unit volumes in the industry is through Cheesecake Factory. We like to see that. But this is a look at their North Italia. This is more important than Cheesecake Factory, in my opinion. So we see that it's a filling white space for an on-trend contemporary Italian offering. Great to have Italian restaurants, very popular. They serve pizza, pasta. And then we also see their average check is in the mid 30s and mid 40s. That's a pretty high ticket, restaurant right there. You're paying a good amount, and it's pretty, open to everyone too. $30 or $40 is very, very good for a check at a restaurant to be average. And then we see Flower Child. This is the big money maker right here. So this is a health focused restaurant. If you haven't heard of it, they're opening a lot of new locations, but they have potential for 700 domestic locations over time. That's almost 4 times the Cheesecake Factory locations right now, except this would only be in Flower Child. And this concept is amazing. They're targeting 20% average annual unit growth. Also great. It's a healthy, balanced dining experience. Attractive consumer demographic. I totally agree with that. These are high ticket. They're not high ticket, but they're not cheap, and it's healthy food, and it's appealing to the eye, and that's, what's going to pull a lot of people in the future, I think. And we see their off-premise volumes, they average over 50% of sales, and then they have a separate takeout area for third-party delivery and takeout businesses. So they got DoorDash, Uber Eats, all of that. And yeah, their Fox Restaurant Concepts are also pulling in $300 million. So these are just random restaurants. They're testing their growth with a lot of these, the Culinary Dropout, Blanco, the Henry, and then they have boutique brands. And then these are their national expansion. They're like, okay, these are good ideas. It's going to work with North Italia and Flower Child. And then they have the Cheesecake Factory. So they have a lot of good things going for them. Cheesecake Factory, I think that this is a stock you have to get into right now. There's not going to be much time left. I need to put more money into it. I'm up almost 50% on my position. But I think this is still the beginning. There's no reason not to buy right here. I think that it's gonna be a lot higher pretty soon here. So I would get in right now. The other stock, the next one that we're going to talk about is ticker symbol HNST. This is the Honest Company. This is the second out of our three stocks, and this one is a very cheap stock following earnings. It dropped 17% today. Very cheap, and you can see they have not so much been on a tear like Cheesecake Factory has been. So if we look at them the past year, they're barely up, but the past 5 years, they're down 82%. They haven't even been a company for 5 years. And then the past 3 months, they're down 25%. Year to date, they're down 46%. So I'm down around 18% on this position. Not worried at all. Not don't have much money in it either, but I mean that's what you have to do with these small companies. You can't, get married to them. You need to have not too much money inside of them. But I really do believe in Honest Company, and this company is a company that offers household items like items for babies like diapers, wipes, things of that nature, and they're also starting to offer skincare, makeup, things like that. So it offers diapers, wipes, baths, skincare, home cleaning, and health and wellness products. I think as time goes on, the health and wellness industry is going to be a lot more booming as people that as time goes on, people are caring more and more about their health, their wellness. Health is wealth. Totally agree. But I think that as time goes on, people are more aware. They're more, in touch with what they're putting on their body, what they're putting on their baby's body, especially that, and they're willing to pay a few extra dollars to, get the nicer thing for their child. And that's a great business model. You want to attract people with money. You want that to be your customer base so you can make more money. We can see also this is a very small company, $411 million market cap. They're only a $3 stock. So this is a penny stock for sure. But following this earnings drop, I'm not too worried. A lot of people would be worried after this earnings drop, but we can see is in this article right here. So the personal care company, the Honest Company, announced better than expected revenue, which is great, and the sales were flat. Not great. It's all right. But the Honest Company highlights, so their revenue did beat, which is very good. They're making money. They're making more money. And then we can see there is some bad things. So their free cash flow is down. That's the worst part as I'm reading through it. I read it before, but I mean, it's not looking amazing cash flow wise, but everything else I do like Honest Company. I think that their financials look a little scary, but that's the risk you're taking. If you believe in the company's idea and their team, so it's co-founded by actress Jessica Alba, which is great. This is a passion-driven business, and then we also see that their CEO, Carla B. Vernon, she actually worked at Amazon for a long time, pretty high up, so she knows what she's doing. I'm not worried about that. I think that the CEO you have to be familiar with if you're going to invest in a company. We see that the company's long-term sales performance indicates its overall quality. Even a bad business can shine for 1 or 2 quarters, but a top-tier one grows for years. This is very true as well. So since 2020, they've been growing quarter over quarter. You see this. And I think that if you did want to get into Honest and you thought, oh, Honest is too expensive now, because if we look at their 5-year chart, they were trading for around $1 for a while here. And then they jumped all the way to $8. So if you felt Honest was too expensive at $8, which I get, you can get it for $3 now. So I think this is probably, as low as it's going to go. And if it goes any lower, I'm buying a lot more shares. But I feel like right now, this is pretty much as low as Honest is going to go. And I'd really like to get into Honest right now. And we see the problem is their free cash flow. It's not a prominently featured metric in company financials and earnings releases because of its weakness. So Honest Company does not have the best free cash flow. You see their free cash flow margin is actually down from the same quarter last year, actually by a good amount. So yeah, that's the worst part about this company, but I do believe in their vision and what they're, I think that a lot of retail stores are going to pick up these types of products. They currently are on shelves at Target and, company or stores of that nature. And they are getting in a lot more stores, and I think that long term this is a great investment, and it also gives you exposure to the the goods industry. I guess you see the household items and personal care and retail kind of in the stock market, because my portfolio is mostly tech. That's the highest growing, fastest growing sector in the stock market right now. But I mean, you look at Honest, and they have a market cap of 411 million, and then you look at something like Procter and Gamble, which is in the same retail, household goods, personal care segment. They have a market cap of 400 billion. So that would be 100 times Honest is what Honest is right now. I don't think it's impossible. I really don't. I think that they can definitely get to a tenth of that. So I think a 10x in Honest, or no, that's 1,000 times. Oh gosh, yeah, that's a lot. No, it's 100. It's 100. So let's see Honest, because I thought Honest was 40 million. No, they're not. Honest isn't that cheap. Honest is 400 million market cap. Okay. Because, yeah, 10 times that, we have 4 billion, and then we have 40 billion, and then we have 400 billion. So never mind. It is, a lot big time. So I think Honest can get to, 4 billion, 40 billion. I think you can 100x your money inside of Honest. I don't think that's crazy. Because if you 10x it right here, you get 4 billion. That's good. 10x your money is, it's not bad. It's not bad. But I think you can 100x your money, maybe 1,000x it. I don't think it's impossible. So yeah, that's my consensus for Honest Company. I think that they're a good one to get into right now. They're a very, promising looking company, and I really like their financials. Their financials are the worst part, but I do like where their financials are in relation to the company's stage and, what they have going on. So I would get some of that if I were you. The next stock we're going to talk about is Google. I actually own some Google, not this one. I own GOOG, Class C. I have $500 in Google, not as much as I want at all. I definitely want Google to be one of my top holdings because I especially believe in this company in the near future and long term. So we can see Google's price to earnings ratio. This is something that really sticks out to me, is 20. If we look at other stocks in the same, segment as Google, we can look at Amazon, which is another kind of AI tech space stock. They have a 33 price to earnings ratio. If we look at Microsoft, which is a company that trades rich, but not that rich all the time, it's 38 still. But then we start to look at companies like in the same segment that are trade a little bit richer than them, and we see that like 185, something like that. So if Google traded at a price to earnings ratio of 40, their company would be worth twice as much as it is right now, which I don't think is that crazy. So let's keep looking at Google stock. If we look at the past year, the stock's doing good. The stock's doing good for sure, up 20%. Past 5 years, they're doing very good. And all time, this is a solidified company. This is a company that knows what they're doing. They have, a great database. And there was some fear for a little bit we see in 2025. They dropped to 150. Should have bought it then. Am I right? But there was some fear with AI that it would take over Google, but I don't see that fear. I think that AI is definitely useful, but Google has their Gemini. They have integrated AI. Not worried at all about AI taking over. Google's one of the biggest advertisers. They have the biggest ad agency. AI doesn't have ads really, so I'm not worried about that at all. And their search engine is miles ahead of the interface that AI could ever create. So I do think that Google kind of has a monopoly over. They went to trial for that, but they didn't get found guilty. But they do have a monopoly over the search engine space. No one uses Yahoo. No one uses GoDuck, or what is it, Lucky GoDuck, DuckGo. I don't know. But there's a lot of search engines out there, and Google still remains the leader. So I really do like Google for that reason. But there's one reason that I really like Google. And I'm not sure if it says it right here, but if you guys didn't know, Google owns Waymo. So it doesn't say it right here, but look at everything else they own. So they make money from ads. They have products and services. So Android they own, Chrome they own, devices that they make, Google Maps, Google Play, Search, and YouTube. So and Google Cloud. So this company has so many things. They're definitely a jack of all trades, which I really like to invest in. If one thing isn't going good, something else probably is. But the reason that I really like Google is Waymo. So Waymo is the autonomous cars. If you live in a bigger city, an inner city, you've probably heard of them. They're cheaper than Uber because they don't have someone driving them. You don't need to pay a driver. But these cars run fully, nobody in the car. They're self-driven. They'll pick you up. They'll take you places. They're, basically an Uber, but they don't have a driver. They're a Waymo. You can connect to the stereo. You're in there by yourself. You don't have to talk to anyone. People really like it. They have their own app, and they're expanding pretty quickly. They're going to be in a lot of new cities pretty soon here. So Waymo does look very promising, and it looks like something that can, contribute to be a big part of Google's market cap. And I think if if you don't believe in Google that much, I think you can invest in it just with the thesis that their PE ratio is going to go up. It's very low right now. I think the PE ratio is going to go way up and the company is going to be worth a lot more pretty soon here. So if we take a look at this, their ecosystem powers Alphabet's highly effective digital advertising business. That's very true, offering unparalleled targeting and measurable ROI that has secured a significant share of the secular migration of ad spending from traditional to digital channels. This is, digital world. That's what we're moving into. Google Cloud is fast growing, even taking market share in some of Amazon's cloud. It's kind of scary for some Amazon, but I do really like that. And then also Alphabet's discipline innovation framework, separating core businesses from long-term other bets, such as Waymo. Waymo, my favorite, enables investment in transformative technologies without diluting operational focus. So Waymo is more of an investment. They do have people working on Waymo full time. There are people that are working on Waymo and making sure that it's running smooth, upgrading Waymo, making it a bigger venture, but it's not their only focus. They're still focusing on everything else just the same, maybe even more. But robust free cash flow generation supports a large-scale capital return program, underscoring a commitment to shareholder value. Collectively, Alphabet's unassailable assets, scale, and strategic execution position it as an indispensable compounding enterprise with durable long-term growth potential. So Google is very diversified in all of these aspects, in advertisements, in devices, in technology, in self-driving cars. So Google is, one of those stocks you can center your portfolio around. I think Google and Amazon are two of the stocks, you want to center your portfolio around. If you don't have that centerpiece, that 40%, 30% of your portfolio is this one big stock, I think Google's a real contender for that, especially right now. I really like Google. Definitely one of my favorite stocks, probably, my favorite stock to invest in right now. They're looking very promising. I think the future is insanely bright for Google. So yeah, guys, that's all I have today. Those are my 3 stocks that I think you should invest in, put a little bit of money in. I really hope you guys do just take a little bit of money and throw them in these stocks. I think you'll see great returns over the long term. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.